So my boss, my husband, oh, never mind. Cut. Today's video will be about canning turkey broth. My husband got an organic turkey from his boss this past week, and I saved the carcass, made bone broth, and today we're going to can it up. So first thing, getting the canner ready, I'm going to fill it with water about a couple inches, about 3 inches, and okay, so while my water is heating, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding jars in here so they can get sterilized a little bit. These are clean jars already, and just heat them up. And they'll start heating up. Okay, so my jars are nice and hot, and I had to hunt down some lids and rings. Just wanted to go over a couple of things. So this, let me see if I could get this here, is not gonna seal very good, so I'm not gonna use this. The rubber looks really good, but for some reason it has a little bit of rust right there. I guess I scratched it before I even used it. I save these for just, to jar things that are not pressure canned, just like any tea, loose tea or whatever. So you want to look for either new. I do reuse my rings. My lids. Let me try to show you. Here's one that I reuse, and I'm just real careful when I open it. But you can see the indentation a little bit, but it's still got plenty of life in there. So it is okay to, for me, I reuse the rings. Disclaimer, I'm telling you how I do it, not that you should do it. The recommendation is to always buy these new rings. I don't have toddler rings in this regular size, and toddler rings anyways have a different process for the rings. So moving right along, I also reuse my lids. Here's a lid that doesn't look so great, but it won't affect the end result because it's nice and flush, and any like rust and discoloration is not going to touch the food, and I don't store them with the rings on anyways. I don't know what happened to this ring. I'm going to use that though. This one looks nice, but as you can see, I don't know what happened to it. I'm not going to use this because these raises in here, these little ridges, those are not going to press the lid down evenly. So I'm not going to use this because I want to make sure that it has an even seal. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling out my jars. So we'll start pulling these out and setting them to the side. Hot. Okay. A 2. And we're going to add a little bit of vinegar in here. I just use white distilled. That was probably a lot too much. Probably just like 1 tablespoon. That was probably 3 tablespoons. Okay, we're back. So my broth has been simmering. How did I make it? Okay, it's leftover turkey, carcass, all the bones and stuff like that, and I tossed it in a pot. It's been simmering on low for about 3 days, and as you can see, the simmer is very gentle. Also, going to drop my lids in there. I don't really do it for softening the rubber. I just do it to sterilize them. So it's going to be quick Oops, sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, and you want to have a towel laid out. You want to have your ladle ready and your jars ready. The other items you'll need is a magnet and funnel.
So here we go. I'm going to try to capture this on video for you.
So now with more vinegar and a clean rag, I'm going to wipe all of these rims. I've already felt them for cracks. Huh?
The monsters inside a movie, each of the pictures. My mommy?
Yes, sir. So, as I was saying, I've already felt them for cracks, and I'm wiping these all off with, yeah, with white distilled vinegar. And we did a pretty good job of keeping it clean, but this is just for extra measure. There. Okay. Now we'll start pulling our lids out. So now we'll start pulling the lids out of the water with our little magnet. Just like that. Got two. Back in business. Set that on there. Just like that. Rings, 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 rings. So, do that. So with the rings, I just turn it very lightly. Not enough to move the jar, but it stops turning right there. See how it's moving the jar? That's how tight I do it. Even actually a little bit, even less. So not tight. It's just to hold the ring in place, because when it boils, the bubbles will push the lid off without the ring. Looking good. Hopefully you guys like this video. It's my first official. Hopefully it'll be my first official upload. So yeah, these are pine jars filled. I don't really worry too much about headspace. I had enough to fill them. That's what's important to me. I've got 10 here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, 10. And you're ready to go into the 2 can. So I don't really see my simmering coming yet. I want it to simmer. Turn it up a little bit. 3. Should have thought about the while ago. Sorry about that. Looks good. I forgot to tell you I have a rack down there. And so, next thing. Check your lid. You want to be able to see through, light through this hole. I don't think that you'll be able to see it on camera, but I can see that it's clean. There's nothing blocking it. Important. Okay. Check your gasket here. Good. And you can take a little bit of oil. And oil just a little bit on the rim, so that way it will slide easier on and off. Just like that. You don't want a big oil mess, you just want a little bit of lube. That's good. Alright, so this Presto, I think this is my a small canner. It's for small batches, so just, you know, small little jars. This V goes onto one of the handles, has a V, and the other one doesn't. Let me see if I could show you. Right there. I'm going to line it up right there. See, in the corner. Align the handles. So these handles right here will, well, they're supposed to close. Get it closed. There we go. And start our clock for 10 minutes. Like that. It's a lot steadier than before. So hopefully you can see that. Now that the steam is nice and steady, you'll start a timer for 10 minutes before you put your weight on. And set this right on top. For my altitude, I have 15 pounds of pressure. And, did I say set the timer for 10 minutes? When this starts rocking back and forth, then we can set our timer for our processing time, and for this pint size of broth is 20 minutes processing time. So I will show you what it looks like when it's rocking. It's rocking. Once it begins rocking, you'll process this broth for 20 minutes. Alright, so the processing time is over, and this has stopped moving, and it has depressurized that this little thing that raises when the pressure is built up inside, it comes up, and so now it's dropped down. A lot of times I'll leave this overnight and let it cool naturally, but now it is safe to take this off if you want. I can already hear the pops, the lids pressing down. So you can take that off and let it cool faster. I'm just going to leave it, but if you wanted to open it up very carefully, please make sure that the steam goes not into your face. Open it, open it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start taking these out. Put a towel here. And gotta get the jar grabbers. I think mine are breaking. And you twist this off and lift the lid. Careful of the steam. It's the same night I decided to just go ahead and open it. There we go. That's what it looks like. Good. Start. And there, oh, we have it. Just want to make sure that all of these are finger tight. And that's it. When they cool, actually, oh, so you hear the difference? That one's not sealed yet. This one is. Sealed, not sealed. Not sealed, not sealed. Sealed, sealed, not sealed. Sealed, sealed, sealed. They'll pop. They'll go in. And then I can take off the rings. I don't store them with the rings for several reasons I will explain later. So this is the bone broth turkey. That's a close-up for you. That's what they look like. Nice and party.